The sun is blinding. Linda, Brian's up.
Right.
Someone's there. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Sure, I can see. Have a couple of What are you doing?
Okay. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. My voice is a little shredded by this smoky, warm air. Since I have asthma, it does not enjoy this situation. But can you hear me? Okay, that's all we need. Is there anyone here for the first time? No. Okay. We wouldn't put you on the spot. I'd just like to know. My name is Zopa, and Bill and Dora are off having fun with family, and we're having fun here. So thank you for coming. So we'll do our regular schedule tonight. We'll have some time to meditate together, practice calm abiding. We'll have a tea break, and then we'll have a Dharma discussion. So please stay for that if you can. Bring your questions, bring your experiences, and share them. It's very helpful. It's a kindness to one another to do that. one of the places we take refuge is in the Sangha. And that's on 3 levels. So the lay Sangha, right here, right now. If we don't come here together, we quit coming, right? If we come, we're the only one. And then that happened 3 times in a row. Probably stay home. So it's quite important to show up for one another over and over and over till we die. And then show up for each other again after that. One teacher says, remember those who you're sitting with. You've got that karma because you all sat together before. It makes sense to me because this rises from causes and conditions. So, hello again. We've been talking quite a bit the last Sunday and then again this morning about how we take refuge in the 8 worldly concerns, or you might call them the 8 worldly dharmas. Really, we're so tangled up with these from habit. And that is my gain, my pleasure, my good reputation, praise for me, and avoiding the opposites, such as loss and blame and, the rest. A poor reputation and pain. Oh, we'll do a lot to avoid pain, won't we? Physical pain, mental pain. So, the good news is we can identify these and see our perseveration on them. And we have tools to free ourselves. So I'm always searching around in my piles of notes in my room to try and find something new to inspire myself and hopefully you. But I came back to something that I talked about in June. And it's a quote by Leonard Cohen. He died around that time. And he was kind of an important person to me as an artist. And he was also a very sincere Buddhist practitioner in the Rinzai Zen tradition. And he said, you get everything and you try everything. And that's good because it eventually shows you that nothing works. I mean, he became incredibly wealthy, and all the women he ever wanted, drug addiction, etc. It eventually shows you nothing works, and that's helpful because nothing in this human realm is meant to work. And when we see that, our mind of compassion rises. So take a moment and think about that, a time when you lined up all your ducks and then they fled and they wandered all over, and what that brings. And it can bring bitterness, frankly, but even that can teach us something. What was I taking refuge in? That relationship, that new house, that project, and it didn't come through, not the way I wanted. And when that occurs, for my experience and many people, an opening kind of occurs, kind of an opening, like, oh, I see something. And in that opening, generally, we have this opportunity to connect with our own suffering, the suffering of others, and our deep wish for happiness. The Dalai Lama talks about that happiness being our birthright. Never give up on it. We have the right to be happy. And our constant wish for that comes straight out of our Buddha nature. It's good to want happiness. It's good to get happiness. And then we just get confused about what will cause it. And once again, we head off to what will not cause it. So we're here doing calm abiding, doing this Dharma discussion in order to experience this in a deeper and deeper way. Not just for ourselves, because that happiness for myself just doesn't cut it. It's just not big enough. The Dalai Lama, one of the times I saw him, he was holding up his two hands and he was saying something about bodhicitta. And he said, well, one way to think of it is over here is me, one person. And over here, 7.5 billion humans and endless insects, birds, fish. All of us want happiness. Why do I get so tiny and tight around this one and forget these others? Where should I be spending my time and focus? Not to the detriment of this one, but really. And that's these 8 worldly concerns. Me, I, mine, comfort, etc. So that's our trap. And at any moment, as Bill said this morning, we can spring ourselves. Any moment. And that's a piece of what we do on the cushion with our calm abiding. We see, we settle in, we watch. Oh my gosh, last 10 minutes I spent in pain over that story. But the minute I see it, I'm free. I don't have to do anything else. I don't have to get up and run out of the room. I don't have to fight with anyone. Bing. And what that is the awareness that's always with each of us. And what that awareness is, again, is our Buddha nature. Our goodness, our wish for happiness, our wisdom. That's all. Just touching it over and over. So we'll do that with our calm abiding. And first, we will take refuge and set our motivation that we are here for others. So bring to mind a couple thousand people you want to bring here, and 1 or 2 individuals kind of makes it more real, and be here for them. Do the calm abiding for them. When you get lost in distraction, come back for them over and over, because it will affect them in the sense of you will carry that forth with you. Okay, thanks, Louisa. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering, establish them in lasting peace and happiness, until the summit of enlightenment is reached. I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness, until the summit of enlightenment is reached. I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness. Now relax. Sharpen your awareness and relax. Vivid, yet relaxed. We're not trying to do anything now. It's quite good to choose an anchor, the breath, or some other object that you already know and use, because inevitably we get lost in thoughts. Thoughts are not a problem. They're not even a difficulty. They're just what the mind does. What we watch for is the habit of entertaining the thought, either because we find it attractive or because we find it terrible. We also entertain that way. So then we're engaged in pushing away or grabbing. That's okay to just see it. In the moment of seeing that habit, we're free. Then, generally, another thought pops up. No problem. If we do nothing with them, just like writing on water, as soon as the stroke of the finger is made, it disappears. That's the true nature of thoughts, but we make them very solid. So see your thoughts as just writing on water. Let them rise and disappear. And then the next thought comes, same thing. Every time we see the distraction, we're freed. As we meditate more and more often, with that vivid awareness, the thoughts can slow down. They will slow down. And then sometimes there appear open spaces between them. But we don't try for that. Don't try for that. If you have a jumble of thoughts like a waterfall, great, no problem. Let them be a waterfall. They slow down to a very still ocean. Good, let that happen. If the ocean roils up into a huge storm, fine, let that happen. And we can just go forward like this, with a few breaks, supporting one another in this calm abiding. relax and stretch if you need to. his virtue may I quickly realize Mahamudra and establish all beings without exception in this state. Thanks, everybody. Just highlighting a few big things coming up. In September, Lama Eric is leading 2 retreats out at our beautiful land, which is now available for us to retreat in. And I think, is there still one spot open? There's one spot open for his first week-long, or it might be 8 days, 7 days, on calm abiding and insight. And then he will be leading a shorter retreat on Chenrezig practice, and that has quite a few openings still left. So if you can free yourself and go to the land, you will be rewarded greatly. And then in October, on 2 Saturdays in October and 1 in November, I will be leading a class Saturday mornings on equanimity and diversity. We'll take a look at a lot of the isms, racism, classism, sexism, ageism, through the prism of the beautiful, immeasurable quality of equanimity. And then in November, Lama Michael and Tim Campbell will lead some mind training out at the Rural Center. So clear your calendars. And then Dora has been really pitching this, and it's so true. After that, we will, in the early spring, February, I think, we're going to open the Rural Center for personal retreats. So you can sign up for a weekend, a day, a week, get your own little cabin. There will be, I think, morning prayers and evening prayers together and meals together, but the rest of the time you'll be on retreat with something you've carved out, hopefully with the guidance of a teacher, so you'll be clear how to spend your time. It's really important to do retreat at least once a year, even if it's just a day or so. It's really nice if you can retreat for more than 3 days. I always found out the first 3 days are pretty painful. And then after that, it's really like, I'm here, and my body is getting used to sitting, and, you start getting some real traction. But whatever you can do, and it's the only way I've ever had it happen, I look ahead, block off that time months ahead. So if you're going to go in February or March, block it off now. Talk to your family, budget for it, talk to your employer, and go. Okay, any other announcements? Okay, on October 27th, that's the fundraiser, right? It's being called Vajrayati. I just learned about the name this morning. So October 27th, you can be on stage here with the Buddha. You can tap dance, you can sing, You can recite a poem, you can rap, you can do anything you know how to do. And that will be fun. And we'll be celebrating Michael's 25th year here. And some other things that we'll celebrate together. So mark that October 27th in the evening, right? Okay, more to come. But right now it's tea and cool water and snacks. And Louisa will bring us back when she deems we've had enough.